On the day of Jezebel's death, it marked an unprecedented moment in Jezreel, the ancient capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. This day witnessed the execution of the notorious Jezebel, who was the most notorious wrongdoer in the house of Ahab. Jezebel introduced the worship of Baal, an ancient god revered throughout Canaan and Phoenicia during the Judges period, infiltrating Jewish religious life. The practice of Baal worship became widespread in Israel during Ahab's reign, and it also influenced Judah, leading to various localized forms of Baal worship, each emphasizing different aspects of his attributes. Baal was believed to oversee agriculture, creatures, and human fertility. The most significant use of the title in the Old Testament refers to the chief god in the Canaanite pantheon, often equated with Hadad, the Amorite god. Jezebel not only introduced Baal worship but also orchestrated the killing of the Lord's prophets. She influenced her husband and sons to commit wicked acts, bringing curses upon the land, where those who wished well for their country cursed her. Jezebel's reign lasted for 3 generations, but her day of reckoning had finally arrived. She is mentioned in the book of Revelation, where a false prophetess in the church of Thyatira is compared to her and bears her name. This false prophetess led God's followers astray, engaging them in idolatry and immoral acts. Her end was indeed terrifying, reflecting the fate of idolaters and persecutors as described in Revelation chapter 17 verse 5-6, where she is associated with Babylon the Great. Jehu, a formidable figure sent by God, was coming for Jezebel. He was a divine instrument of judgment upon Jezebel's family. Jezebel's downfall was the result of a single event: the murder of Naboth. She orchestrated Naboth's assassination to seize his vineyard, which led to a curse from the prophet Elijah. This act of treachery initiated a chain of events that would ultimately lead to Jezebel's demise. Naboth, a Jezreelite, owned a vineyard close to King Ahab's palace. Ahab desired the vineyard and offered compensation, but Naboth refused to sell, as it was an inheritance from his forefathers. Ahab's disappointment led to a sulking and angry state, causing Queen Jezebel to inquire about his discontent. She devised a plan to obtain Naboth's vineyard, involving false letters bearing the king's instructions to hold a day of fasting and accuse Naboth falsely. 2 scoundrels were planted as witnesses to charge Naboth with blasphemy, leading to his unjust stoning to death. Jezebel's malicious scheme used a religious ceremony to mask her murderous intent. When she learned of Naboth's death, she informed Ahab that he could take possession of the vineyard. However, this act of treachery did not go unnoticed by God. The prophet Elijah delivered a divine message, foretelling the catastrophe that would befall Ahab's house. Every male member of Ahab's family would perish and be consumed by wild beasts, denying them an honorable burial. Ahab met his demise in battle, and Jehu took the throne as king of Israel. Jehu had already dealt with Jezebel's son, Joram. Jezebel's fate was sealed, and she defiantly confronted Jehu, standing at a window at the city gate. Despite her impending doom, she refused to hide and openly challenged Jehu. However, Jehu was unwavering and called for assistance from anyone on his side. 2 or 3 officials signaled their support, betraying Jezebel and facilitating her fall. Jezebel was thrown down from the window, and her lifeless body was trampled underfoot. Dogs consumed her remains, just as the prophet had foretold. Jehu wanted to demonstrate respect by giving her a burial, considering her royal lineage as a daughter and wife of the king. Yet, the dogs had already devoured her body, leaving only her skull, feet, and hands. Jezebel's painted facade, once a source of admiration, had now vanished, her true fate revealed. Her end was a stark reminder of the transitory nature of human vanity and pride. The same dogs that once licked Naboth's blood now completed her shame, leaving nothing but her ignominious legacy in the annals of history. Even the wicked, though they may enjoy temporary success and recognition, will eventually face their reckoning. In the end, their names will fade into obscurity, and their deeds will be overshadowed by their ignominy. Jezebel's disappearance from the world was swift and brutal. Though she had once reveled in her grandeur and commanded attention wherever she went, she now lay forgotten, reduced to a gruesome spectacle in the records of history. Her painted face, once a symbol of her power and allure, had become a distant memory. In her final moments, there was no one to mourn her, no one to lament her passing. The legacy she left behind was not one of honor or respect, but of cruelty, idolatry, and treachery. Her end served as a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of human existence and the consequences of one's actions. No matter how powerful or influential one may be in life, in death, we are all equal, and our deeds ultimately define our legacy. The story of Jezebel serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of pride, greed, and the pursuit of personal gain at the expense of others. It reminds us that, in the end, the consequences of our actions will catch up with us, and we will be held accountable for our choices. In the grand scheme of things, Jezebel's story is a testament to the enduring power of justice and the inexorable march of time. Her life, marked by wickedness and cruelty, ultimately met its just end, and her name lives on as a symbol of the consequences of one's deeds. As we reflect on Jezebel's fate, we are reminded to tread carefully and consider the impact of our actions on those around us. History has a way of revealing the truth, and in the end, it is our character and the choices we make that will define our place in the annals of time. Jezebel's legacy is a cautionary tale that stretches across the ages, resonating with individuals in various walks of life. It teaches us that while we may wield power and influence in the short term, the repercussions of our actions can have a lasting impact, shaping not only our own destinies but those of the generations that follow. Her story serves as a stark reminder that pride, cruelty, and the pursuit of self-serving interests can lead to one's downfall. When we prioritize our desires over the well-being of others and engage in treacherous deeds, we sow the seeds of our own destruction. Jezebel's unrepentant heart and defiant spirit in the face of impending judgment demonstrate the dangers of obstinacy and arrogance. Rather than seeking humility and redemption, she chose to taunt and challenge the divine forces that had ordained her demise. Her end serves as a testament to the consequences of resisting the hand of fate. In a world where many are driven by a thirst for power, wealth, and recognition, Jezebel's story remains relevant. It reminds us to be mindful of the moral choices we make and the ethical compass we follow. It cautions against leading others astray and engaging in wickedness, as such actions may ultimately lead to our own undoing. Ultimately, Jezebel's name has become synonymous with not only her own downfall but with the consequences that befall those who persist in wickedness and cruelty. Her story lives on as a warning to all, prompting us to consider the legacy we wish to leave behind. As we navigate our own journeys, we must remember that the actions we take, the values we uphold, and the compassion we show to others have a profound impact on the world. Jezebel's tale is a testament to the enduring power of justice and the universal truth that our deeds, whether good or evil, define our place in the annals of history.